Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I would like to thank the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and my dear friends Amjad and Kudus for inviting me to the 72nd Jalsa Salana to celebrate and honor this beautiful community. My name is Razi Hashmi, and as Amjad mentioned, I serve as the South Asia Policy Advisor covering India and Pakistan in the International Religious Freedom Office, or IRF, at the U.S. Department of State in Washington. My personal story is rooted in this work as both the Muslim and Pakistani American diplomat. My parents came from vastly different worlds, a Pakistani father and American mother, but both united in service through healthcare. I'm incredibly fortunate to have known and worked with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community even before my time at the State Department. I've seen both the highs and the lows, the joys and the pains. They say first impressions are everything. My introduction to this community came through an Ahmadiyya-run blood drive called Muslims for Life while I was working on Capitol Hill. This trend of passionate public service continued wherever I found myself, working alongside Ahmadi Muslim legislative staff or diplomats proudly serving this community and our country. The United States has long been a global champion in promoting and defending freedom of religion or belief for all. This work is a vital piece of the Biden administration's overall efforts to advance human rights as a foreign policy priority around the world. The United States is committed to human rights and democracy at home and abroad. It is our duty to not only honor these values, but to also confront the challenges we both face. Civil society plays a crucial role in confronting this. An open, inclusive, empowered, and fully functioning civil society and free press is vital to healthy democracies, prosperous economies, and resilient societies. When governments undermine or attack civil society, including the ability of human rights defenders and reporters to work freely, human rights abuses and violations, discrimination, and corruption flourish. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, global fissures are being magnified on socioeconomic, ethnic, racial, and religious lines. During the pandemic, we have seen alarming accounts of minority communities being targeted as scapegoats for the spread of the virus. Even in the best of times, we know communities like Ahmadis have long faced adversity for their beliefs. Led by IRF Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Razi Hashmi, and working with our embassies and consulates around the world, the IRF office uses the full range of diplomatic tools to encourage governments to meet their international obligations and commitments to respect religious freedom. One of these tools is a multinational effort known as the International Religious Freedom or Belief Alliance. This is a network of 36 countries fully committed to advancing freedom of religion or belief around the world. Alliance members must fully commit to the Declaration of Principles, grounded in Article 18 of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights, which states that everyone has freedom to believe or not believe, to change faith, to meet along for prayer, or corporately for worship. The Alliance brings together senior government leaders and representatives to discuss actions their nations can take together to promote respect for freedom of religion or belief and protect members of religious minority groups worldwide. As a founding member, the United States has worked through the Alliance to support your global community's human rights. On March 1st of this year, the United States championed the Alliance's joint statement on the Ahmadi Muslim community, which I will share with you now. As members, friends, and observers of the International Freedom of Belief Alliance, we note with grave concern the hostility toward the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in a range of countries and the threats to the human rights, to freedom of religion or belief for members of this community. For Ahmadi Muslims, as for all individuals everywhere, freedom of religion or belief includes having the ability to affirmatively define or identify their religious beliefs. We note, for example, that some state authorities prevent Ahmadi Muslims from self-identifying as they so choose, restricting their ability to worship, prosecuting them for practicing their faith, and tolerating attacks against them by non-state actors. Authorities frequently use laws on offenses relating to religion or blasphemy laws to target these individuals, preventing Ahmadi Muslims from exercising their rights to freedom of religion or belief, to freedom of expression, and other human rights. In addition, some state authorities have threatened to charge Ahmadi individuals who reside in IRFPA member countries and other third countries with blasphemy for posting Ahmadi web content and threaten organizations who host it with legal action. We also note with deep concern significant societal hostility toward Ahmadis in far too many countries. We affirm that the right to freedom of religion or belief, in accordance with Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, includes the freedom to manifest an individual's religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. States should not, therefore, discriminate against or tolerate violence against Ahmadi Muslims or anyone based on their interpretation of the Islamic faith. We call upon all states, where applicable, to immediately release all Ahmadi Muslims imprisoned for exercising their religious beliefs, including on charges of grounds of their religious expression, for example, blasphemy, activities, and self-identification as Muslims. Immediately reinstate the right to vote to Ahmadi Muslims, immediately end capital punishment of Ahmadi Muslims pursuant to blasphemy laws, immediately end home raids and raids on places of worship for Ahmadi Muslims, immediately eliminate any discrimination against Ahmadi Muslims with respect to the issuance of national identification documents, immediately eliminate any discrimination against Ahmadi Muslims with respect to their access to justice within courts and hearings, immediately eliminate discrimination against Ahmadi Muslims with respect for their employment and education, immediately eliminate targeting Ahmadi Muslims in third countries under laws that curb free expression, including religious expression, and bans on their religious texts, online and offline. Review and address current intersecting forms of violence and discrimination against women and children within the Ahmadi Muslim community, and hold accountable individuals and groups who use violence or intimidation against Ahmadi Muslims. With tools such as the IRFPA or the Alliance, in clear public statements affirming the rights governments must respect and protections they need to provide, we can all do more to protect members of religious minorities, including your own community. Again, I'm deeply honored to be here today and preach all that you do to strive for peace in a more just world. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.